Now listen, after obtaining the license, what the importer want to do? So importer has to submit the copy of IEC to the customs authority at the clearance of goods. So the second copy, they have to submit the second copy of IEC import export code is used to obtain the foreign exchange from the RBI. So what is the next procedure? The next procedure is to importer has to receive the IEC code, isn't it? So he must submit the IEC code to the customs authority when at the time of clearance, and first one copy he must submit to the customs authority at the time of clearance, and the second copy he must submit to the foreign exchange department in RBI. Then he must get the foreign exchange currency. Then next one is trade inquiry. What is after having obtained the IEC? IEC means what? Import export code. After obtaining the IEC code, what the importer want to do? He must do the trade inquiry. Having obtained the IEC, the intending importer has to make inquiry. He must inquire to the exporter or his agent or the import. Otherwise, the importer makes the request by email or else postal mail, or he must give the ask the details of supply, give the supply details. What is the supply details? What is the specification of goods, and like size, design, and also the quality, everything he must ask to the exporter, and the quality, quantity, price, terms of shipping, terms of payment, probable delivery time, and other offer period, everything he must ask the importer want to ask to the exporter. So importer respond to inquiry by sending the how he is going to send the response through the pro forma invoice. So importer must send the pro forma invoice to the exporter. What are all the needs? What are all the specification of goods he need? So this is called trade inquiry. After obtaining the trade inquiry, what is that? He must obtain the foreign exchange, isn't it? Because he need money to settle the amount. So what he is going to do? So after obtaining the trade inquiry, see, since the importer has to settle the import bill, isn't it? So how to settle the import bill? Through the foreign currency. He must settle the import bill through the foreign currency. For that, he must obtain the foreign exchange. So he has to obtain foreign exchange. So importer has to provide IEC code in the form supplied by the authority. So already IEC code, import export code is there now, we received. Importer received the IEC code. So he must submit the IEC code along with the application form. So along with the application form, he must submit the application form along with the necessary document, where in the exchange of foreign exchange in the RBI. So in the Reserve Bank of India, there is a department called Exchange Control Department of RBI. So there the importer must submit all the IEC code and also all the documents. In that, after the scrutinizing, the RBI will scrutinize whether he is a really license holder, whether he is doing a import export business proper. Everything will be scrutinized by the RBI. After the scrutinizing, the RBI will sanction the foreign exchange. Then after that, placing an intent order. So after obtaining the foreign exchange, importer want to place an order. How? Either direct order or through any intent house. So he can place the order. So intent means what? It contains the details, type of goods, design of goods, price, quality, grade, packing instruction, insurance, delivery note, and then delivery, mode of delivery, and desired delivery period, mode of pay period, and mode of settlement, mode of shipment. Everything will be included in the intent order. Then let us move on to inquiry was over, he also obtained the foreign exchange to settle the money. Then what is the next step? What is the next step? We have seen in the exporters procedure, export procedure. Want to know the credit worthiness of the exporter, isn't it? So importer want to know the credit worthiness. So for that he must get the LC. Let us see LC. How to obtain the LC, letter of credit. The next step is opening letter of credit. Opening the letter of credit. So what is meant by that? See, when a foreign exporter does not know the importer, isn't it, unknown importer, to check the credit worthiness, what he must need? See, he may like to ensure the credit worthiness of the unknown importer. In such case, the exporter get the advice, may advise the importer to arrange for letter of credit in his favor. So the exporter may ask the advice for to arrange the LC, letter of credit, in his favor. So LC means what? Letter of credit means it is a document. Who is issuing? The issuing bank. The bank, importer's bank is issuing the LC here in this import procedure, isn't it? So that bank is called issuing bank. Why? See, they are going to make the payment. Letter of credit means what? It is a document under which issuing bank undertakes to make the payment on behalf of whom? On behalf of the importer. Then to the order of importer in exchange for specific document from the exporter's bank. So the exporter's bank want to give the specific document, and then what they will do? The letter of credit is issued only for who is going to get the letter of credit. Letter of credit is issued only for the sound financially sound importer only can get the letter of credit. So what the exporter bank will do? The exporter bank eventually send the document to issuing bank. After getting the letter of credit, the importer will send the letter of credit to the exporter, isn't it? So after getting the letter of credit, the exporter's bank eventually send the send the document to the issuing bank. So after sending the document, the issuing bank will release the payment. Are you clear? Then receiving and shipping document. So next, the goods are getting ready. Order is over. Letter of credit also will be received. Then what we want to do? Send the goods to the exporter, isn't it? So the importer collect all the shipping document along with the advice note of shipment. Advice note of shipment means what? See, advice note means it contains the message through return message. What is the taking delivery? Whether when he is going to take delivery, when the goods is going to arrive, where is the destination, everything will be contained in the advice note. So advice note means what? It contains a return message through which exporter informs the importer about the dispatch of goods and advises him to make agreement for taking delivery of goods on the arrival of goods at the port of destination. So after reaching the destination, what is the procedure? The captain of ship, what he will do? The ship captain will inform the dock authorities. So the ship captain is there now. Ship captain will inform the dock authorities to the arrival of goods. So the goods is reached. So he will inform the arrival of goods on a document called Import General Manifest. Who is called that? Import General Manifest. Then dock authorities, what they will do? The customs authorities in turn inform to the importer. So the customs authority is there now. The customs authority will inform to the importer about the arrival of goods at the port. After that, the importer will come and get the goods. So are you clear? So captain of the ship will report to the arrival of the goods about the dock authorities. In turn, the dock authorities will inform to the customs authorities, and the customs authorities will report to the importer about the arrival of the goods. So they will come and take the delivery of the goods. Then let us move on to appointment of clearing agent. How they are going to clear the goods? They have to take the goods from the port, isn't it? So how they are going to take the goods? Let us see. Next, let us move on to appointment of clearing agent. That is, there are a lot of formalities involved in the clearing the goods imported from the port. So, importer is not comfortable. See, normally importer do not feel comfortable with completing all the formalities by himself. So that he will delegate a person. That is who is called that. So, in this case, he will delegate the task of clearing the imported goods from the port to discharge the imported goods from the port of discharge clearing who is well versed in the job. So, importer will delegate a person to discharge the goods who is well versed in this job. The person who is doing the clearing agent, they will perform the work by getting the fees. So, the importer, what they will do? The importer send all the document to the clearing agent. The importer will send all the document to the clearing agent, and then for what reason he is sending? To enable the goods to take delivery of goods after fulfilling all the customs formalities. Because when goods is coming from other country means what to do? We must pay the customs duty, isn't it? So after fulfilling all the customs formalities, we have to take the delivery of the goods. So for that reason, the importer is appointing a clearing agent. Then fulfillment of customs formalities. What does mean the fulfillment of customs formalities? So the clearing agent engaged by who is appointing is engaged by the importer, isn't it? So for what reason? To perform the activities in connection with the delivery of the goods from the port. The clearing agent is appointed by the importer. For what reason? To perform the activities such as delivery of the goods from the port. What all the activities he is going to do? Getting the endorsement for delivery, preparation of bill of entry, and then payment of dock dues. All these port related delivery of goods will be looked after by the clearing agent. So first one, let us see about getting endorsement for delivery. So clearing agent will get the bill of lading. Clearing agent will get the bill of lading that is endorsed by the importer. That will be endorsed by the importer. Endorsed means what? That bill of lading will be signed by the importer. Then only he can take delivery. Who can take delivery? Clearing agent can take delivery. Where the freight is not, see, freight is not paid means the clearing agent want to pay the freight charges. Because the goods is coming in the ship, no, for that you have to pay the money. You have to pay the freight charges. So suppose the exporter is not paying the freight charges means clearing agent want to pay the freight charges and take delivery of the goods. So that the separate delivery order also they have to attach. For that, after collecting the freight charges, the ship port will give the separate delivery order. So that is the proof for paying the freight charges. The shipping company may give a separate delivery order after collecting the freight charges, or it may simply endorse on the bill of lading by the importer or by his agent. So that is the proof for freight charges paid. Are you clear? Then preparation of bill of entry. What is the preparation of bill of entry? That is, they have to prepare a 3 bill. Already we have studied about the dutiable goods, non-dutiable goods, everything, isn't it? What is dutiable goods? What is this? Which are all the goods subject to tax? That is considered as a dutiable goods. Let us see about that. Next, preparation of bill of entry. What is the preparation of bill of entry? Bill of entry is prepared in triplicate order. Triplicate order means 3 copies, 3 order. So that is this document is contain the details like the name and address of the importer and name of the shipment and all the full description of the goods, number of packages, and also already I have informed you IEC code number. That customs, that code number also will be included in this document. So this document is called as a bill of entry document. Then the bill of entry is issued in 3 colors. So bill of entry is issued in 3 colors, which is black. For non-dutiable goods, they will issue bill of entry in black color, and goods within the country, that goods we are going to give the issue for bill, that bill will be in blue color. Which goods are subject to re-export, that goods will be issued in violet color bill. So different colors of bill will be issued to differentiate the goods, which is the non-dutiable goods, which is the goods within the country, which is the goods we are going to re-export. So according for what reason they are going to give this bill? To calculate the import duty. So on the basis of this dutiable goods, on the basis of this variation, they are going to collect the import duty, where the importer or clearing agent does not know the exact and full details of the goods, isn't it? So clearing agent also don't know the exact details of the goods, and the importer also does not know the clearing details of the goods, isn't it? For that reason, they are going to prepare this bill. Suppose the full details about the goods are imported. If suppose they don't know on what they do, they will prepare a bill of sale. What they do, they will prepare a bill of sale. Which type of goods they will prepare? They will prepare a bill of sale. So the bill of sale will provide all the details. In this bill of sale, we have to provide all the details as much as possible. Now let us move on to preparation of bill of entry. What is meant by that? See, this is a bill of entry is prepared by the importer. So prepared in triplicate order. For what reason? To pay the customs duty. Why they are preparing in triplicate order? Triplicate order and also in 3 colors. They are going to prepare in different colors. For non-dutiable goods, they are going to prepare the bill in black color, and goods within the country they are going to prepare in blue color, and goods which are subject to re-export, that will be prepared in violet color. So in this bill of entry, this is a document, all the details. What are all the details in the bill of entry? Name of the address, address of the importer, name of the ship, and all the full description of goods, number of packages, and all the IEC code number, and all the details, the customs duty payback, everything will be included in the bill of entry. Suppose, so why they are preparing like this bill? So according to this, they are going to collect the import duty. So import duty is they are going to calculate it on the basis of details given in the bill of entry. Who is going to collect? By the customs authority, isn't it? So this is the full description. See all the details are there, they are going to collect. Suppose you can take another situation, the details which is not available. See, in another case also will be there, where the importer and the clearing agent do not know the exact and full details about the goods imported. So in that case, the importer, they will prepare the bill of sale. In that bill of sale, they will provide as much as details, and they want to provide all the details, and they should not give the complete details of the goods. So all the complete details will be completed by the customs authority. So the customs authority will complete the statement they will complete the statement at the port. So, who will complete the statement? The customs authority. See, the statement will be completed by the customs authority will complete the statement, and after that import duty they will charge the import duty. After assessing the goods they will charge the import duty. After that the arrival of goods at the port will be sent to the delivery. So in such case customs authority, in which case suppose he would provide as much as details possible about the goods imported to the extent of his memory. What are all the things in his memory? So as much as possible he must give all the details about the goods, with a specific remark that he cannot give complete information about the goods which is imported. In such case, customs authority will complete the statement, and the import duty only, when they will charge the import duty, only after assessing the arrival of goods at the port of delivery. When they are going to charge the import duty, only after assessing the arrival of goods at the port of delivery. Then they are going to pay the dock dues. Dock dues means what? In the shipment, they are going to pay the money. That is called dock charges. So, clearing agent is going to pay the dock charges. That is, they are going to submit the 2 copies of the application form to the landing bill and also the shipping office. So, landing and shipping dues office. The name is called landing and shipping dues office. So, this office, what they will do, they will levy charges on all the imported goods. What are all the imported goods? They are going to charge the charges. Who is going to pay the dock charges? The agent. So, the clearing agent has to pay the dock charges by dock challan. Already in our bank, what they will do? We are filling the bank challan, isn't it? Like the same way, dock challan, the clearing agent will fill the dock challan. After that, he is going to pay the dock charges. So, after paying the dock charges, what will happen? Landing and shipping due office is there, no? They will stamp on the application form. They will stamp they will embrace the stamp on the application form. That is what the word will be, they will stamp means that charges paid. So that is called port trust due receipt. In the export also we have studied port trust receipt. Here port trust due receipt. After that, after the payment of dock charges only, the goods will be delivered to the exporter. Then let us move on to payment of import duty. How they are paying the import duty and how they are releasing the order for dock charges. How to getting the delivery of the goods on the due date. Let us see one by one. For how he is going to pay the import duty? The clearing agent or any importer submit all the bill of entry to the customs authority, and he want to pay any tax. Import duty tax means he must pay the import duty in case of duty of goods to the whom? To the customs authority, and then he is going to take the delivery of the goods. Then release the order from dock. From the order from dock means from the shipment, from the port, the goods must reach to the person, the concerned ordered person, isn't it? So, after the payment of the customs authority, the bill of entry, they will mark and give in the bill of entry. So, the bill of entry has to be marked by the dock. Who will mark that? The superintendent or the examiner of the port. They will mark the bill. What the instruction will be given? That is, they will instruct, that is, they have examined the goods. The goods are not in the duty-free goods. That goods are very dutiable goods. The goods are safe like that. person who is supervising, no, the superintendent will examine the physical examination of the goods, and then he gives the report on the bill of entry. So he will give the report on the bill of entry to whom? To the port authority. So the bill is passed over to the port authority. He would issue the release order. So the port authority will issue the release order of the goods. Then getting the delivery from the dock. How we are going to get the delivery from the dock? The agent, see the clearing agent taking the delivery from the docks after submitting the documents like the port trust receipt, bill of entry, bill of lading. So all the documents must be submitted to the dock authority. So all the documents like dock dues and bill of entry, bill of lading, everything will be submitted. And if the goods are imported for re-export, suppose the goods are imported for re-export, they are going to submit, that is the agent or the importer will deposit them in a bonded warehouse. That's any goods he is going to import the goods for re-export now. For that he must deposit in a bonded warehouse. That particular goods alone he must deposit in the bonded warehouse. And what he will want to receive? Dock warrant he must receive. Suppose any goods want to take delivery means he must submit all the bill and take the delivery of the goods. In case the goods, whatever the goods we are importing, and then it will be re-export now, that particular goods alone will be deposited in the bonded warehouse. For that bonded warehouse, we have to get the dock warrant. Then let us move on to sending advice to the importer and also taking the delivery of goods. How we are going to settle the import bill? Let us see. At last, the goods is going to dispatch to the importer. How the goods is going to dispatch to the importer? By the rail or road or roadways. So the agent dispatch who is going to dispatch the goods? The agent is going to dispatch the goods to the importer by railways or roadways, any transport. So for what he need the railway receipt or lorry receipt from the transporter. Then sending advice to the importer. See the goods received. So you can come and collect your goods. Such a advice, such a information want to send to the importer, isn't it? For that, the clearing agent, what he will do? The clearing agent inform the dispatch of goods to the importer and send the railway receipt and lorry receipt to the importer. And also all the statement, is there no? All the statement of expenses. What are all the expenses he incurred? So that also will be sent to the importer. What are all the expenses incurred by him? And for that he is going to get the commission. And commission payable to him. What are all the service? The clearing agent is doing the service, no? For that commission, how much commission he is going to charge for his clearing agent service. That also will be included in the advice. Then taking the delivery of the goods. The importer is going to take the delivery of the goods. The importer takes the delivery of the goods from where? From the railway office or carrier after producing the railway receipt or lorry receipt. And the importer is going to settle the import bill. How he is going to settle the import bill? The importer settle the import bill in the form two ways. That is, he can collect the shipping document after the payment. He can collect the shipping document after the payment. Document after the payment. See, importer get the shipping document after the payment of bill of exchange in case of document against payment. Document against payment and document after the payment. So importer get the shipping document after giving acceptance of on bill of exchange in case of document against payment. Whether he is going to give the bill, settle the bill, whether in the document against payment or document against the document against payment and also document against acceptance. So bill of exchange he is going to produce. So bill of exchange in case of payment of bill of exchange, in case of document against payment or document against acceptance, already we have seen in the export itself. Then what are all the intermediaries? Whether he is going to give the bill of exchange and settle the amount after the document against payment or document after the payment. Documentation will be done after the payment or documentation he will accept the document against the payment. After that he will settle the amount. So depending upon the document, depending upon the importer and exporter, they are going to settle the shipping document, shipping bill. Then already we have seen in the exporters, who are all the intermediaries in exporters, that is forwarding agent, commission agent and export house, intent house. We have seen export house. Like the same way in the import trade also we have an intent house. Through the intent or importer only we can send the inquiry, order inquiry, isn't it? So like the same, whatever the document is used in the import trade, you know, import license and also intent and letter of credit, everything will be the document. What are the import document? Already what are all the document we have seen, that is bill of lading, bill of entry, letter of credit, bill of site, port receipt, bill of lading, bill of exchange, advice note. These are all the document we have seen, isn't it? So let us recap the document and then let us move on to the intermediaries in the import trade. Intent house, or we call it as an import agent. So they are called as an intermediary. Why we are calling as an intermediary? They are doing a specialized particular trade. For that, through the intermediary only we are receiving the goods. For that they are going to charge the fees. So importer can get into the contract with the intent house and he can place the order and he can get the goods, whatever the goods he requires. For that, what are all the services rendered by the intent house? So the intent house will help the importer to get an order from the exporters, and they are providing a lot of information about the credit facilities, and they are maintaining the consistent contact with the exporter. And last one is clearing agent. So who is called as a clearing agent? Clearing agent is who is clearing the goods from the port to the place where the importers place. He is going to deliver the goods. That is called clearing agent. So clearing agent is doing a specialized job. What is that job? They are going to receive the goods from the port of discharge destination and transport it over to the importer. So from the port of destination to the transport it to the importer, and he is fulfilling all the customs formalities. The clearing agent only fulfilling the various formalities are there now. All the formalities on behalf of whom? On behalf of the importer. The clearing agent is doing clearing all the customs formalities and get the goods cleared from the port. So for that they are charging a commission for the service. So this is how we have seen the import procedure. Let us move on to who are all the facilitators of import trade and export trade. So who is giving lot of facilities to trade the import and export procedure? Let us see in the next lesson. Thank you girls.